Right, so my first attempt to fly out to Myanmar was not successful due to visa issues. So I've changed my mind and I'm going to Cambodia. First night in Cambodia, and I arrived to the night food market. This is how people eating on the carpets, on the floor. And I'm gonna be doing the same. And that's the foods. I don't even know what they are, but I'll try some of them. I think I'm gonna try some sticks like this on the skewers, some chicken. I love that. Papaya salad. I'll get some papaya salads. What else we got here? Coconuts. Yeah, pretty much the same. Hello. Who is this? Sugar cane?
Yeah, sugar cane.
Can I have one drink, please? I'll try. How much is it, by the way?
4,000 riyal.
4,000 riyal. Okay. Sugar cane. You're making drinks out of them. Oh, look at the view from my hotel room. Not from the room, but from the hotel. You can see a temple over there, another temple over there, another small temple over there, and there is a river bank on that side. So very nice place I rented out. I'm always picking up the best places, and look at this park down below. Tuk-tuks are already waiting. Right. Yeah, today I'm going to visit a few historical places, actually with a very sad history. Should be interesting. So join me. Funny thing, you know, as soon as I came out of the hotel, you got a lot of tuk-tuk drivers. So I've got one here behind. He promised me to take to the places, even take to the shop, to the shop to get some water, take to the restaurant where I'm gonna have breakfast, and then take to the places I want to go. And that's including his waiting time and everything. He charged me $15, 15 US dollars. You said $15, yeah?
Yeah, 15.
So that's on cameras, we're not gonna change the price, yeah?
No.
Cool, man, thank you. So, yeah, good price for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
The driver wanted to take a picture, so
Yes.
what's the picture for?
Take photo.
Just a photo. All right. I've done some food shopping from the shop. He was waiting for me, so very convenient. What is this? About 35 years ago, I was in secondary school, and I remember in history lessons my teacher was telling about Khmer Rouge regime in Cambodia with their notorious leader Pol Pot. We didn't pay too much attention back then, but yeah, I remember the facts that Pol Pot and his party were killing ruthlessly basically everyone else who's like opposition. As he came to the power in 1975, basically when I was born, he came to the power in Cambodia and exterminated basically everyone, you know, all the political opponents, all intelligent people, doctors, scientists, business-minded people, basically everyone who could have protested against him or who was a threat to the Pol Pot itself. Yeah, so they killed about 2 million. They say from 1.7 to 2.5 million people, Cambodians. And the population back then, it was only 8 million, so that was like a quarter of a nation was executed, exterminated. And the place where all those killings happened, it was here. This place called the Killing Fields. And I came to check it. There is a few movies about it. I'll probably at the end of the video I'll drop the link, or maybe I'll put in the title the name of the movies so you can watch if you want. But yeah, about 2 million people were killed in this area. I'll show you a little bit more around in a minute. It says this is a truck stop. Here it was the place where the truck transporting victims to be exterminated from prison stopped in here, and when the truck arrived, the victims were led directly to be executed at the pits, or were sent to be detained in the darkened and gloomy prison nearby. Yeah, that was the stop for the truck to offload the prisoners and take directly to exterminate them, to shoot them, or as I've read before, in order to save the bullets, you know, in order to save the ammo. The regime was killing them in the brutal way with the axe picks, with the sharpened bamboo sticks, with the axes, you know, in order to save the ammo. This is a like detention center. It says the truck used to stop here, and yeah, usually when the truck arrived, the victims were executed immediately. Someday, as the number of victims to be executed was increased up to over 300 per day, executioners failed in attempt to kill them within a day. That's why they were detained for execution for the next day. Horrible, horrible things. This is executioner's working office. Here was the place where executioners stationed and worked permanently at Chaongek. The office as well as the killing field were equipped with the electric power which enabled them to conduct executions and to read and sign the rosters that accompanied the victims to the site at the night time. This is chemical substances storage room. Basically, the executioner scattered these substances, chemicals, on the dead bodies of the victims after execution. It has two purposes for that. Firstly, to eliminate the stench from the dead bodies, which could potentially raise the suspicion among people working near by the killing field. And secondly, was to kill off the victims who were still alive. The chemical substance storage room was lost in 1979. the killing tool storage room. Here was the place where the killing tools such as shackles, leg irons, a hatchet, knives, hoes, digging hoes, shoves, iron, ox cart axles were stored. All that sort of tools were stored in this room for torturing and killing people. Mass grave of 450 victims. In such a small grave, being buried 450 victims. And as I mentioned before, it was about 2 million people killed over these fields. They're quite a big place around, but as I've read on the Wikipedia, it was saying like after heavy rains, you can, the bones of the bodies comes to the surface, and even sometimes you can see the pieces of the clothes. That's another mass grave of 166 victims without heads. Oh dear. In this grave people were beheaded. This is rags of victim clothes, which were many victims basically were excavated in order to give them a proper burial, and this is leftover rags of their bodies. This is a killing tree against which executioners beat children. As many kids, obviously they were innocent, but they were kids of the opposing parties, peoples. So Khmer Rouge regime, they were killing, holding their legs and smashing their heads, smashing their skulls against that tree. So they basically preventing from they growing up and taking revenge on the Khmer Rouge, killing in a brutal way again. Here is some human bones, remains of the people who's been excavated after 1980s. This is the tree was used as a tool to hang a loudspeaker, which make the sound louder to avoid the moan of victims while they were being executed. On this tree they hang the loudspeaker to block the noise of the victims, moaning victims. Imagine all these fields, people were running for their dear life, and they've been shot. Everywhere the graves, the graves, the graves. Oh dear, 2 million people lost their lives in here. Oh. Some more bones. Oh, that's how they found, you see, all skeleton, the head, the torso, pieces of bones remaining after excavation in the 1980s. Okay, so I came to the second spot, and the second spot is a prison. It's called S21 or Security Prison 21. And these buildings around me, it was originally a school, but once the Pol Pot took the power, he converted the school into the prison. So all the classrooms has been converted to the prison cells. And I'll take you around inside now. So far most of the rooms looks the same, you know, metal bed, a toolbox for, you know, torturing tools, and the bar to lock in your ankles. Imagine how many people has been tortured on this bed. This is original beds, original stuff. And they've been tortured, many of them until their death. A lot of original photographs survived, has been found in this prison. Yeah, this been a school prior to the prison. And imagine all these corridors, staircases, classrooms. Children's been playing, running, screaming, and then eventually they changed everything to this awful prison. Oh, I see the gallows where prisoners were hanged and tortured that way. That's part of the classroom, what's left. School desks, a blackboard. They used to look like that, and eventually, as I said, former classrooms became to detention cells. And Khmer Rouge regime has had 196 prisons all over the country. They found a brick in 1978, Merry Christmas. One of the prisoners wrote on the brick. Yeah. This block C is all covered up with the barbed wires. And you see the former classrooms has been converted into these tiny cells. And they were saying people who survived torture being dropped into these tiny cells, and who have basically been waiting for the extradition to killing fields. So many classrooms like that. And prisoners, one to another one, they were not allowed to talk, not a single word. This is same block but second level, second floor, and the cells are made out of wood. Unbelievable. In such a small room, classroom, they converted to how many cells? 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. 18 cells, 18 prisoners in one this room. Oh dear, it's a place. This is how they used to have a shower. They basically been sprayed with a hose once or twice a week, and some prisoner was reporting that he had a shower once in 3 months. This is like illustrations how they've been tortured, beaten. See? Oh, fuck. Beheaded. Some torturing tools. Cutting the fingers or pulling the nails out. Oh, that's waterboarding. That's the platform where they've been waterboarded. Wrists are here. Oh no, ankles are there. Wrists are here. And then with this watering can, you see, pouring on the face. Waterboarding. With the pliers, ripping the nipples out. Oh dear. What is this? Oh, they fill up this bath with the water and drowning, I think, or something. Oh, filling the water with the hose, so the guy is tight, cannot get up, and that's probably the way they're drowning. So the prison tour is over, and how this massacre ended. Basically in 1979, Vietnamese army invaded Cambodia, and they toppled the Khmer Rouge regime. Therefore, Pol Pot, the leader of this regime, retreated, ran away to the border with Thailand, and was hiding in the jungle. And from the jungle, he still was organizing like guerrilla wars all the way till 1998, and then he's died. He never been brought to justice. Yeah. That's a very sad history of Cambodia. I've seen people crying, you know, walking around the killing fields, walking around this prison and crying. Very sad, very sad. Alright guys, so I'm signing off from here now.